Welcome back, Accountability Buddies. Um, this is 100 weeks of making cyberpunks. It's my variation of the 100 weeks of making comics, specifically focused on my comic cyberpunks because I have like a million ideas and a million projects all the time, and I'm trying to make myself finish 2 pages a week on this one comic. And for like the 3rd week in a row, I think, maybe more, maybe all the weeks, I don't know. I've fallen short on most of the different categories of work that I've picked out, and so I actually did do more thumbnailing, which is my writing stage. So that's nice because if I catch up on because that becomes a bottleneck if I don't stay ahead on that. But I'm now like 13 pages or something, no, 15 pages ahead on thumbnails, so I'm not even going to really stress about trying to push that. Like, I think I'm going to finish the chapter I started this last week. I'm like halfway through that because the chapters are going to be 8 pages. So we got that out of the way, and then I think I only did 1 page of art this week. I started thumbing the other one out, and I just started falling asleep earlier. I normally fall asleep at like 2 in the morning or later, and I think I fell asleep at like 11 last night, and the night before. And so I was counting on working late at night when it's cooler, and my body's like, nope. And so I passed out. And I try not to procrastinate stuff, but yeah, when it's hot in the house, it's kind of hard not to do that. And plus, all my box fans are missing, and my wife said she was going to bring them back and didn't. So she doesn't like it when I blame her for everything, but it's kind of the problem when you're in charge of everything. Everything's sort of your fault. So. So my dad always told me, because I was considered the oldest, even though I had a stepsister older than me, but she didn't count for some reason. What else is going on? I can see on my monitor that I really am getting fat, because when I get to my face does a weird thing at a certain weight, so I'm definitely getting too fat. Alright, it looks marginally better here. Yeah, and so I did want to talk a little bit about there's like another aspect of why it's kind of hard to keep the passion up when you're creating comics. Comics can be very like they're very time consuming to make, and so and like you said, you get other ideas that you get excited about, and so it's hard to keep it up for that. And that's been especially hard for me because like I'm trying to figure out where to set my expectations. I keep making stuff and I'm not building an audience, and I know there's some reasons for this, like like I know a lot of the reasons for it. I'm inconsistent, and that's part of the reason I'm trying to do cyberpunks monthly on Comixology, so I'll be more consistent. And because I can't do weekly, because like I do these weird binges, and I've just always been that way, and like I've read a bunch of things on what to do so that way you work more consistently, and because of some things outside of my control and some things that are just my nature, I haven't been able to do that, so I'm trying to find workarounds, and that's why I'm doing a monthly comic instead of a weekly comic. But there is like a real potential to fail, even though I'm not. Even when I do find these workarounds, there's a real potential to fail, and that's always been really hard for me. Is that it's hard for me to just do something when I don't know it's going to succeed, and like because like for me the stories exist, and so if I put all this work into them, and I'm the only one who enjoys them, then like, why did I put all that work in? And so that's just something I kind of struggle with, and I've tried to like, build myself up about it, like, one day, maybe maybe not my kids, but maybe grandkids will find my comics and get really inspired and do great things, or, find out the other things I've done, like politically and stuff, and be inspired, and that'll push them to go further, and even that, it's been getting harder, because like, I'm ambitious in my own way, I'm not trying to make money, but I do want to reach people, so it's been really hard not to be discouraged because of that, and I had like one kind of, a few years ago it would have been heartbreaking, but now it was just kind of like, again, I kind of groaned, but my wife put on a video about amputees and prosthetics in World War II, and I told her, I wanted to see it because I had to leave the room and to deal with stuff with the kids, and she thought that I said that I didn't want to see it, and I was just like, oh, she has no idea that like the thing I talk about most, she has no idea what it's about. And like another like kind of discouraging thing is that when I look at my old stuff, like I always hear people say, oh, I look at my old stuff and like I cringe, and I look at my old stuff and I'm like, is it better than my new stuff? Like, I do not feel... I've been doing comics my entire life, and I've been doing webcomics for well over a decade, and I don't think my new comics are significantly better than my old comics. It's always hard to judge your own work, and like, I know that I used to not like my art, and if I make a lot of it, so if I stumbled across it later and didn't realize that I drew it, like if I thought I got it from someone at a convention or something, I'd be like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, oh wait, I drew this, and then I'd feel proud of it. And I don't really have that experience anymore. I remember doing this stuff, and it's better than I remembered it being. So it's kind of hard to continue when you're questioning how good it is, and like I don't get feedback from people, like I get less than I used to, the thing that reminded me of this is my wife insists that she read A Night on Ghost Island, and I'm pretty sure I just sent her the first 50 pages, like I was having her proofread as I went along, and so she didn't realize that there wasn't an end to the story, and I've given books away as gifts, and I like never hear feedback on it. And like one time I wrote like a really personalized note on the inside cover, and they didn't even react to like the personalized note. And so and in the note, my friend she knows that my wife has like a nickname for her, and I wouldn't tell her what it was just because I'm kind of dickish. So I addressed her as her nickname in there, and so she didn't catch on to that at all. But she recently said that she has memory issues, so I'm hoping it's just that. But like, your feelings are not rational, so sometimes it's hard to sometimes it's hard to keep things in mind, when you feel bad about them. So yeah, so those are the things I'm kind of struggling with right now, and you know, hopefully the 6 people who watch this, like one of them, will find something useful about it. Um, and I've had I did a version of this video where I was talking for like 5 minutes and didn't realize it wasn't recording. So I now have no idea what I said in this video and didn't say. So hopefully I said everything I wanted to say, because I'm not doing another recording now. So see you next week.